with my second weekly wrap-up, and if you can see the mess over here, please just ignore it. You'll see it in the next two videos too. I only read two books. So first, I did finish Forestborn by Shannon Hale. This book took me like forever, probably almost a week to read. But this is posted. It's probably something important. Yes, it's my work staple. But I think I said this last week when I was talking about how I was currently reading this. Shannon Hale's books kind of like are like slow books for me. I don't know, so I read them slowly, and that's why I had picked this up. So it wasn't a surprise that it took that long. I did end up giving this 4 stars. It's the last book in her Books of Bayern series. I definitely think it was probably my least favorite one. It's been a long time since I read the first two, but from what I remember, the second one, Enna Burning, is probably my favorite, and I do really like Enna. She's really like feisty and different. Like, I feel like most of the female characters in Shannon Hale's books are pretty like just like good, wholesome girls, and Enna's like this like crazy girl thrown in there. But overall, I did enjoy it. It really wrapped up a lot of the whole series. And in the end, I did like Rin. I kind of went back and forth on her. Sometimes she bothered me and I'd be like, oh my god, get over yourself. But overall, I did like her. This one was interesting because there was no romance in this one at all. The other ones all have a romance throughout them, even though the way Shannon Hale writes, that's like very minor. Overall, I did like it, and I'm glad to have finished it. It is my second series completed for the year, which is good, and this is one of the books from my 15 books to read in 2015, so one down. The other book I read was an ebook, and that was Whisper to Me by Christina Lee. It's like the third book in a new adult series, and you know, which I didn't know when I bought it. This was mentioned on the DBSA podcast, and so I bought it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I would definitely check out the first 2 books in the series because I'm curious to know like what those characters showed up in this book, and I'm curious to see more about them. And I really waffled with my rating on this. There were parts of it I really liked. In general, I found the romance very well paced. It was pretty cliche, but I've talked about before how I don't mind formulaic stories if they're done well. My biggest issue with it was the dialogue. I would say about 80% of the dialogue to me felt forced. Like, it felt like somebody was writing what these people were saying, which I get technically that's what's going on. But it didn't feel like words that people would actually use in conversation, especially conversation with people that they've known forever. Oh, and I didn't say what the book is about. It's about a girl named Rachel and a guy named Kai. It's told in dual POV, which I appreciated. And they're like 21, 22. And Rachel, her senior year of high school, got in a huge car like a motorcycle accident with her boyfriend. And her boyfriend basically walked away with just like scrapes. But she ended up getting a traumatic brain injury, and her boyfriend ended up dumping her while she was in recovery, and her sister, or her best friend's brother, was the only, like, was there throughout all of this. The synopsis kind of reads as if he's the only one there, but that's not the way it worked. But they had been friends as well, and so it's just 3 years later, it's her having to deal with her past and them coming back together and dealing with their feelings for each other. And a huge part of the books is both of them being like, I really care about this person, but I can't tell them for some reason. And I'm not a huge fan of conflict that is mainly built on just like refusal to talk to each other. There's so many other conflicts, like grow up and have a conversation. But like I said before, I would check out some of Christina Lee's other books. So it's not like I hated it. I thought it was a good 3-star read. I think it's a perfectly good new adult novel. It's better than some of the ones I've read. So yeah, those are the only 2 books I've read. I finished Whisper to Me a couple days ago. and I just do not know what to pick up next. Like, I just look at my TBR shelf and I'm just like, I don't even know what genre to pick up. So honestly, by the time you see this, I probably still will not have picked out a book, because I typically don't read on the weekends. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know, because I don't even know where to begin. It's rough. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.